Let's deep dive again into Databricks AI Builder. Specifically, this time we're going to focus on the Model Specialization feature. So we already did another video on the builder, so feel free to check it out. But this tool is really a game changer for anyone looking to tailor AI models to specific tasks without having to write a single line of code. Maria, for our listeners who might not be familiar with this capability, can you just remind us what Databricks AI Builder is?
Yes, so let me share my screen so that we see a little bit the documentation as well as we talk about it. Here it is. So AI Builder is really a no-code approach to build and tune agents to your specific dataset and specific tasks that you want to perform. Last time, as Lara said, we have discussed the information extraction. At this point, it supports information extraction and model specialization. So that one was kind of extract specific keys and specific items, or think of them as a dictionary of keys and values of a text column, where this one, what it does is specializes agent to your tasks, as in it specializes a summarization task or a classification task, and you just give it data and that it does it automatically. And then as a next step, you can fine tune as well. That we're going to show you later.
That's great. So it's not just about feeding data. You have to guide the model with the examples so that
Yes,
it knows
very
what the
correct.
desired output is.
So if you go to the model specialization page, there are, of course, a couple of requirements that you need to be aware of. For example, you need to have unit catalog, you need to have access to model serving. At this point, it's supported to specific regions. And also you need to be able to use the AI query SQL function. But what the other thing you need to give it really is you need to have a good enough data set, right? So if you don't have enough examples, then this won't work very well. It has to learn from data. So you need to provide it a couple of examples of what is the input and what should be the output.
Awesome. So it's all about fine tuning, which is a recurring theme. And so in this context, what is the significance of fine tuning when we look at this specific capability?
Yes, so we have spoken before about fine tuning, but really what we're trying to do is adapt whatever is pre-trained to our specific tasks and task and data. So in this case, in the model specialization, it's an extra step in the iteration process. If you want, you are going to do a full kind of like a fine tuning job on the model. The first iteration of this is just adapting the prompt to your data with specific judges and gets you to a point that you are okay, and then you go if you want to do the next step of fine-tuning or not. It's not necessary.
Got it. So for people who want to try this out, how can they get started?
Yes, so let's go to Databricks. And we have our builder here. And here you can see we have the two options. In this case, we're going to go to model specialization. And this product is in beta, which means that it may change a little bit the feel and look and the functionality behind the scenes. So we are still iterating and receiving feedback. So the first thing you need to do is explain what are you asking from this, right? So in our case, let me show you as well so that you have an understanding of what we're trying to do. If we go to my catalog, I have here a catalog that has, actually, Lara, you will be very familiar with this because it is a catalog that has emails of emails of people saying that, this product is going to be delayed or not. And we have really
Supply
classified.
chain demo.
Yes, right from the supply demo. So this is the data set we have.
Yeah.
So this is the text with the email, and
And
then
it's
we have
unstructured. Yeah.
Bravo, and there we have flagged it. What is the category we are asking the model to learn?
Interesting.
And then if we go back, what we're gonna say here is classify the emails with, let's say, delay or no delay. Okay, let's say just this for now. In this case, we have a labeled dataset, but you have other options as well. Provide an unlabeled dataset and let it infer what it needs to do, or you just give it a couple of examples. Again, back to the point we were discussing before, we said the more examples you have, the better the model will learn, right? So we need a couple of examples here. So in this case, we have the labeled dataset. We're going to ping it to exactly this table we said before, the wholesaler email distribution list. You need to choose which column is the content and which column is the thing we need to learn. And then you give it a name. And then you hit create an agent. And that is going to go and tune a bit the prompt, adjust the parameters, and etc. And you don't have any visibility into that till it gives you back the first results. And then you can iterate on it. Okay, so if you go to this tab, this is an agent I did just before. So what it gives you in the configuration is exactly the same agent we did before.
Yeah.
In the build, what you do is you come here and you start getting an understanding of what it did, right? So you can have here all the different inputs, and this is the prediction it created. And you can start giving feedback to it, like if it was it good, was it bad? So you can come here, see the full text, and then judge a response. And then these are all your judges. So if you're familiar with the Databricks evaluation framework, these are all the judges or all the guidelines you apply to this task. As in this case, we're saying, if the emails lack explicit metric or indicator of delay, it should be marked as no delay. And this is a judge we're going to evaluate against later. So you can add whatever you want here, and then you can iterate and update your judge with new guidelines and etc. You can provide more specific task description, and that is what you can do. And you can do it through the UI. And then you
On
go
the
and review.
left-hand side,
Yes.
if you go back, so on the left-hand side, the input, is it an input from the data set or is it new examples and the agent tries to score it?
This is inputs from the dataset. The agent response is the new thing. It tries to learn from whatever you gave it input. So it is the input from dataset. If I go back to the other run that is running,
Because then do we have a mechanism to try to test it against data it hasn't seen before?
yes, then you can do it, use it your own dataset,
Got
use it as your own agent, and then you apply the same evaluation on top.
it. Got it.
But I wanted to show you, like, if I go back, if this run has finished, okay. Here, you can start giving feedback to the response before I had already done it. So this is the first output you see. So you go and iterate if that was good or bad response. And then you can give feedback, and then you can update your agent and retune it. Yeah.
Mhm.
That I had already done before in the previous example. So here then you can review. You can see all the judges. These are the things we were seeing before. So email containing delay and email lacking. So are the guidelines we described before. And this is the kind of evaluation UI if you're familiar with these. And then the next step of this is you can use your agent. You can keep improving, playing with your agent, or you can use it to predict now an unlabeled data set, as Lara said before. And you can use it, you can just try it in SQL. And this is the next thing. So you can try it in your data and try to see how it performs and how good it is at this, as a benchmark at this point in time. But there is no real fine tuning in the model done yet. So that is the next thing where you actually tune the whole agent into your data set and you get kind of a better model in terms of cost and quality, hopefully, if you have a good enough data set. So that's the next step of the fine tuning. So up to that, there's no fine tuning on the model.
Got it. Awesome. This is really cool.